Hello everybody, my name is Gary Medina. I'm one of the librarians here at El Camino College, and I want to introduce to you some resources to better help you understand the California propositions that are up for vote in this November 3rd election cycle. In particular, we want to look at something called library guides, and we created a research guide specifically catered to better understanding the upcoming California elections. We're going to start at the El Camino College main page, and we're going to scroll down till we get to student resources, and you'll see the library link. Once we go here, we have a variety of resources we can choose from, and I want to focus on research guides. The guide that I'm looking for is going to be the guide for voting, so I will go into history and political science, and then there's the guide to voting and California propositions. This whole guide is dedicated to helping us better understand what's going on in the upcoming election cycle by looking at credible resources. I want to point out this tab here specifically. So, evaluating California ballot propositions. On this page, you'll find all kinds of useful information, including how you can evaluate each one of the propositions and things that you want to keep in mind as you're looking at them. There's two websites that I want to point out to kind of help us better understand what's going on with the ballot measures coming up. The first one is the Qualified Statewide Ballot Measures. Now you'll notice with both of the websites that I'm going to point out, when we look at the URLs, you'll notice that this is going to have a .ca.gov. And that's what I'm looking for when I'm trying to analyze, particularly when it comes to elections. I want to find .gov websites. The .ca is for California, and .gov is going to be government in California. This particular page is dedicated to the California Secretary of State, and in it you will see the statewide ballot measures. There's all of them. Kind of gives you a brief overview as to what's going on with each one of them. But what I find interesting and useful on this particular page is these links right after the summary. And for those of you who are looking for in-depth information about the ballots, this is a place that I would recommend kind of looking at and getting familiar with. And what this is, it's the official document that was submitted last November to have this ballot come up for this election cycle. It's the official document that was approved by the California state government, and it goes through in detail as to what is going on and how this proposition will impact the citizens of California, particularly if it gets passed. So it's very detailed. Now, to get more familiar with what's going on with the ballot initiatives and just kind of familiarize ourselves with it, with each one, I would recommend going to the official voter guide. And this is the guide that you're going to get probably sent to you in the mail, and it can be a little confusing when you're looking at it in a printed format. So I like the online version because it kind of simplifies if I'm voting yes for the proposition or if I'm voting no, and how that's going to impact the state or impact us as citizens either way. So on this page, you'll see a link for propositions, and all the propositions are given to us, and we can click on the one that maybe we want to look at in depth. One of the more popular ones this coming cycle for a lot of people is Prop 22, as its impact on app-based transportation and delivery companies, so things like Uber and Lyft and people who drive for them. How is it going to impact them if they vote yes or if you vote no for the measures? And it breaks it down for you here in an easy to understand kind of way that summarizes it. Very different than what we looked at in the previous Secretary of State website, where it got into the details and we were looking at the actual document. So highly recommend using this. Kind of get yourself familiar with it. You can click on these links here to get more information, but keep in mind that for this particular website, it's going to be a little bit biased because they want you to vote yes. Same for the vote no for Prop 22. Each one of the propositions is going to have a similar format. So feel free to use that as a guide for helping you better understand California elections for this November 3rd.